This episode is proudly supported by Fine Food Australia. It's only a few weeks until Fine Food Australia, the country's leading trade event for food service and hospitality, is back on in Sydney. As a professional in the food industry, you know the importance of staying ahead, discovering new trends, connecting with suppliers, and finding the inspiration to move your business forward. For over 40 years, Fine Food Australia has been the ultimate destination for chefs, restaurateurs, cafe owners, food retailers, and distributors alike. With over 900 exhibitors across 12 product categories, featuring both local and global brands, Fine Food Australia is where you'll find what's next, what's new, and what's driving the food industry forward. Make sure you register online before the 8th of September to secure free trade entry, so you don't have to pay $45 at the door. Don't miss Fine Food Australia on from the 8th to the 11th of September at ICC Sydney Darling Harbour. For more information, go to www.finefoodaustralia.com.au.
Lots of different cultures, lots of different personalities. So he makes you, try harder just to, keep growing the business, keep growing the company, and just make sure the employees are in there for the day of business. Yeah.
This is the Deep in the Weeds podcast. I'm Anthony Huckstep. Can you run a restaurant based on one dish? Not a signature dish amongst many others, but one dish. Well, today's guest has helped create just that, all the while looking after one of the world's best restaurants with one of the country's largest menus. Santiago Aristizabal is the executive chef of Rockpool Bar and Grill in Sydney, The Cut, and new restaurant 24 York, amongst a few other things too. Santi, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Nice to see you.
It's good to get you on the show. You are a busy man with a lot of venues, which we're going to talk about, but I'm fascinated that you've just been part of opening a restaurant with one dish, 24 York.
Yeah, that's correct.
How's the opening been?
It's actually been amazing, to be honest. So we opened last week, Wednesday, so 23rd of July. And really, we only did one sort of friends and family for lunch and dinner on the 22nd. We did 100 for lunch, 100 for dinner, just to get the team just up to speed. We did obviously a little bit of a back of house training and front of house training the week before with all the bit of knowledge and set of service, all that sort of stuff. But then it was only one day that we put them to to have a service and have a bit of fun and have some guests in the venue. So it went really well. And then the 23rd was for our first restaurant, for our first opening. I've done a few lately. It was amazing. Like, we were so proud of the team. They did an amazing job.
Well, there's so many things to unpack about the idea and concept of this restaurant. You're looking after Rockpool Bar and Grill, one of the world's best steakhouses, and you've decided to do a steak as the signature dish, as the only dish at 24 York. Tell us about how the concept started and how you decided on the dish.
We know, like, Australians love beef. We have some of the best beef in the world. Amazing suppliers, amazing producers, amazing farmers. And then we've seen it in different cities. Someone does it in Paris, someone does it in London. So we did take a bit of inspiration from them. I guess not in the setup or the actual venue, but just in the idea of the concept of just one restaurant doing steak and chips really, really well. And that's all you could have. So we did a bit of research. We called a few different suppliers and we tried to find the best steak, the best chips, and really look after the sauces. And we thought it was just a good idea. We have an amazing venue in the city, right in the CBD, lots of traffic, lots of offices, lots of corporates, hotels around it. So we just thought it was a really good chance to give it a go and see what people thought about it.
So what beef did you settle on? Tell us about it.
So I pretty much call a few of the suppliers in Sydney that we deal with a Rockpool or the Cat or the Collective, and we decided on a O'Connor steak. So it's a Scotch fillet. It's so they have different gradings. So I think they go from 2 to 5. I'm pretty sure. So we decided on the MB2 to 3. So it's grass fed, Gippsland, Victoria. Really grassy. Has quite a bit of marbling going through. Super clean. The size of the muscle is quite decent. So sometimes what happens is like if the muscle is too big, then you get like a really, really, really thin steak. So obviously all animals are different, so it does change day to day what we get. But it's an amazing, really consistent supplier. So we're super happy with that.
What's the response been like? I know you said you've been very busy, but do guests understand the concept when they're arriving, or is there a bit of explaining? Is there a bit of confusion? What's it been like?
Like it's actually. We have really, really good feedback about it. You get there, we still present a menu. We even thought about the idea of not having a menu once, and it's like maybe it could happen, but you do get a menu, and then really the only question you could ask is, you want salad, and what sauce do you want? You want it medium or you want it well done? So no, we've been having really, really good feedback. Is you're in and out in half an hour. Is really well priced. And you're having amazing quality beef. So, yeah, I think hopefully it keeps going this way, and I'm sure it will. But yeah, super pleased with all the media and all the just lots of people behind it, and we have suppliers coming in, we have Rockpool VIPs coming in, we have the Cat VIPs coming in. So not just if you're regulars of the venues, they come, it's like, wow, this is a really good idea. Even Corey, he's a picky one, and he actually came and liked it. So I was very, he's my mentor, so and a really good friend. So I was very pleased.
Well, I look forward to talking about Corey Costello shortly, because I know he's a big part of your career and your time at Rockpool Bar and Grill and growing in that restaurant. It's fascinating that you're 24 York has one dish and Rockpool Bar and Grill has a ginormous menu. What's it like, sort of the Rockpool kitchen and all of those different dishes and different areas and elements compared to what's going on in the kitchen at 24 York?
It's completely different. I actually did lunch at 24 York, and then I did service at Rockpool last night. And it's just it's a different game, So then you're trying to, when you call it pass, it's so easy. It's like chips, sauce out. And then when you come to Rockpool, it's, different temperatures, 14 different steaks on the menu mostly the days, and everyone has an entry. You have to call them in away. So yeah, it's a more complex restaurant, and I think that was the idea of 24 York. Is just the simplicity of it. It's simple for the guests, it's simple for the staff, it's simple for the chefs. Obviously, we're looking after everything the same way we do at Rockpool, but it's just taking the complexity of everything, I guess.
Do you feel a little bit more pressure with one dish, because you can't get any dish wrong, say with Rockpool, but with one dish in the restaurant, does it feel like more pressure to get it right?
100%. Yeah, I think that's the biggest part of this. Is like every single thing needs to be. It's only three components of a dish. So if one of them is out of balance, or if it's cooked wrongly, or it's not seasoned properly, it's just the whole dish just not quite right. So I think that's the pressure for the team at the moment. Just making sure if something doesn't look 100% or doesn't taste 100%, it just doesn't leave the pass.
Your role encompasses many restaurants across the group, and you share the role also with Andy Evans, an amazing legend of the culinary scene in Sydney. Tell us about your role.
As you said, myself and Andy, so we are the culinary directors for Hunter Street Hospitality. We have a different portfolio of brands. We have Rockpool, Spice Temple, Sake, Cat, and the Collective we just launched. So really, it's just everything that involves sort of food for the group. So suppliers, training, staffing. Myself and Andy, we've been working for the company for almost 15, 16 years now. So we're really good friends. We have an amazing relationship. So it's quite an easy thing for us to share. We talk, 4 times, 5 times a day. You know, he's usually more like of a night person. I like the morning, so a lot of the stuff I do lunch, he does dinner. So yeah, it's really he's amazing, and an amazing chef and in person. So yeah, really happy to be working with him.
You stepped into the role when Corey Costello famously left Rockpool Bar and Grill after a long time to open his own restaurant, which he's doing well with. Tell us about that period of time and what it was like working with Corey. Do you have any stories of that time?
Yeah, I have lots of stories, I guess. No, yeah. So me and Corey, so pretty much, Corey started probably 1 year earlier than me. He actually opened the venue. I probably started with Rockpool 1 year after. So we sort of he was a sous chef, I was just a CDP. So we did grow up together. We were with Can, with Angel, obviously very close to Neil. And yeah, so a lot of stuff that we know, we were trained the same way. We sort of share the same mentality and values when it comes to food. So yeah, he's been a great mentor, and we are still really good friends. He calls me. He thinks I'm a really bad friend. Because I don't pick up his phone calls anymore. I have a daughter. She's 5.5 months, so I've been busy opening restaurants and busy at home as well. So yeah, he gives me a lot of trouble lately.
Neil Perry was obviously a very big part of Rockpool Bar and Grill and was there for a long period while you were there. Do you have any stories of what it was like working with Neil Perry and the focus on produce?
Look, he was, Neil Perry he built Rockpool, on that mentality of, caring after your suppliers, caring after staff, caring after your customers. So definitely suppliers, one of the in produce was probably the biggest thing that we did at Rockpool. So our cooking is very, very simple. So it's a beautiful wood fire grill. It is the best fish that we cook in a charcoal oven. Same when it comes to vegetables. So there has never been anything to hide or we don't put sauces on stuff. So the only thing that we everyone jokes about Rockpool is it has lemon juice, salt and pepper. That's and just drizzle with olive oil. So it's just amazing, simple cooking, just using the best suppliers that we can get in the country. Best fish, best steaks. And then, we have, after he left the building, we have obviously kept going with the same mentality, and still to this day. So we use probably 95% of the suppliers, 1 or 2 have changed probably. But yeah, it's very, very.
Do you have any stories of a couple of the producers that you've had a long association with and relationship with, and why their product is so good?
I think obviously the biggest ones are the beef ones, so probably Cape Grim and the beef Blackmore. So I still remember the first time that when we went to Debbie's farm, and we had a big barbecue and lunch there, and it's just the connection he gets with all of them, and the way he treats them, the way he describes when he cooks the beef. When I remember when he first describes the Wagyu beef, it's like, oh, it tastes like caramel popcorn. He used to say, which took me a while to understand, but I guess when you get a beef that is so sweet, so clean, and then you put on the wood fire, he used to describe it. It's like, oh, it tastes like caramel popcorn, and we were like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I guess it's like that. Yeah, and then I remember when David first came to Rockpool, I think we used to get one body of Blackmore a month in each venue, and then it lasts 1 week. So I remember asking more he was asking for more bodies. Can we get one more? Can we grow more? It's like David has like no more. But then when he actually came to Rockpool and sit down and had the beef, he was just so blown away. But the taste that is like Neil, I think I can give a bit more.
I want to explore sort of how you run so many venues and get the best out of your team shortly, especially at the level that you set and the benchmark. But take us back to when you were young. What sort of role did food play for you?
And it was obviously a big part of what we do. Very, very heavy on proteins in South America. Sort of protein and starch is probably your day-to-day meal. Lots of pork, lots of beef. we have also amazing grass and, well, not the same quality of breeds and stuff, but yeah, it's what we eat every day. And then I moved to Australia where in 2010 I had a family friend here, so I just came for a few months and sort of fall in love with the country and the culture we have in here. And then not long after I came to Rockpool, was just walking past. I remember I had a good food guide back then, and I just opened it up and saw the restaurants that were on the city, and then doing they had 1, 2, 3 stars, whatever. So I just went in and just dropped in each one, and I remember kind of calling me. I came to Rockpool, and then he kind of called me like after 10 minutes. It's like, oh, you still want the job? It's like, yeah, sure. And I just came in, and yeah, it's been 16 years since that day. So yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about Colombia. It's an amazing country with amazing food. Is there any sort of feasts or festivals or dishes that you remember from your family growing up that you could share with us?
Yeah, Colombia is a beautiful country. So we have, we're surrounded by water, it's very tropical, very warm. So I spent, a lot of my childhood. We used to have like a little family house in the water, and I think like you go there and for a whole week, all you eat is just fried plantains, fried fish, and coconut rice. So and then once you go to Medellin, so pretty much what is called bandeja paisa, which is so pretty much it's lots of different parts of the pork. So you get a black pudding, you get chicharrones, and then you dress the whole thing with some beans and an arepa, which is like a corn pastry. We're actually doing something similar with a ceremony in Rockpool at the moment. So it's a bit of inspiration that I got from Colombia or from the travels in South America, and then we're just doing it with beef in Rockpool at the moment.
Tell us about that decision to make the move to Australia. Why did you choose Australia?
Like, to be honest, it was I didn't really plan it to come to Australia or a specific country. Just, my dad had a really, really good friend. So he used to run the Intercontinental Hotel back in Circular Quay. So when he moved here, it's like, oh, you should come. And, he knew I was into food and hospitality. I used to work in a little restaurant in Colombia. Back then, he's like, oh, you should come to Australia for 3 months and just work at the hotel and see if you like it. So that's actually my first job in Australia, was in the Intercontinental. And then I did a bit of everything, a bit of, a bit of waitering, and I did room service, and I did a bit of banquets, all that sort of stuff. And then I just, I went to TAFE and did a commercial cookery course, and then just, really, really fell in love with the city and with the water, and once I started working at Rockpool, just with the beef and the wood, just really connected to South America. So, yeah.
Tell us about, you mentioned you had a good food guide and you just kind of walked into Rockpool Bar and Grill to find a job, but what was it like sort of starting to work there in that big kitchen with that huge team?
It was so scary. When you first walk in, it's a team of 16, 17 people per service. I think when I started here, there was 10 sous chefs working per shift, which a lot of them running groups or running different venues at the moment. So it was like, and I was doing a simple job. I was doing ladder for a little while. I used to do the fish back section, which is mainly you get all the fish out for the guy that's gonna cook it. So you're actually not doing any cooking. You just seasoning and putting things into trays. But the expectation was so big. They were opening for 1 year. I think they got based in a restaurant. So it was, everything had to be perfect. And Neil was always around here. So it was, and then you walk in the dining room and you look up and it's an amazing venue. It's really, really stunning. I still come these days and I look up and it's an amazing building. So it was very, very intimidating, but it was really hard work. But I think it's an amazing school. Rockpool, you really learn about just caring and looking after every single ingredient the best you can.
Tell us a little bit about that, because it's renowned for a bit of a school for chefs. And how do you get the best out of your kitchen crew to maintain that incredible standard every single night at that volume of meals that go out?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of mentoring, a lot of training, a lot of one-on-one catch-ups with them, and obviously just leading by example, just being in venue, and just I think it comes to a lot of repetition. So like when I first worked here, when I started working here, I did the same section for like 8-9 months before they actually moved to the grill. So we try to stick to the same philosophy, and a lot of young chefs, they want to learn and they want to move quite quickly, and they want to be sous chefs in a very short time. But I think just learning and really understanding a couple of things until you do it perfectly, and then you do one more thing that is, then you go to pasta, and then until you master that section, then we try to not to move you too much out of that section. So you really, and then obviously you end up, usually the grill is the section that everyone wants to be in. But yeah, no one, you can't just start a Rockpool and do a grill in 6 months. Usually it takes you a couple of, 2-3 years until, okay, maybe he's ready, or maybe she's ready, yeah.
Being responsible for so many venues across the city, what's your day-to-day like? Take us through sort of, how you manage all the different venues.
So, day-to-day, so our head office is at the Rocks, where the collective and the car are. So I usually just go in the morning, just check on the team, do a bit of walkthrough. We open for breakfast as well there, so starts quite early. So usually the venue is already going, so there's a lot of movement, a few chefs already in. Then I usually, spend a couple of hours there doing a bit of paperwork and admin stuff, and then I try to do a little bit of run to the kitchen. So then I come to Whirlpool. We have a head chef obviously in each venue in each city. So Perth and Melbourne, get on the phone with them and talk about what happened the night before or the week before. What changes I'm making to the menu. And then I usually just pick a venue for the day just to do service at, and just obviously check on the consistency. I think that's the key word for a venue like this. It just has to be consistent, has to be, to make sure the quality is there with the steaks and with every single aspect of the day to day. Yeah.
The whole world sort of turned upside down with COVID a couple of years ago, which we've detailed in en masse across the network for many years now. But if you look back sort of before that time and sort of now, is dining out different from your perspective in the way that you run a kitchen and the guests? Are there changes since all of that period of time?
Look, I think obviously there has been changes, and it's different when it goes to work-life balance, and like everyone wants to maybe enjoy a little bit more and then work a little bit less. So it does get tricky. People eat earlier, I guess, sometimes. But we obviously, when you run a venue like this, you have to adjust to whatever. We try not to think too much about what happened before. It's just moving forward and just make sure we keep doing the best that we can do, every single day.
With your family so far away, what do they think of the incredible achievements that you've had in Australia in hospitality?
Yeah, I think they're actually here at the moment. They're incredibly proud. And, so here for my little one is 5.5 months, as I said. So they came to meet her a couple of months ago. So they've been in Sydney for almost 2.5 months. So I've been showing every single venue, and and they give me great feedback. It's like, this one wasn't as good, or you should change this, change that, and it's like, no, mom, this is different. This is not Rockpool. This is it's a different steak, it's a different breed, or it's a different sauce. So no, they're huge support for me. So obviously they're really far away. So I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can.
With such a busy role, what's fatherhood been like for you, being fresh to that?
Yeah, it's hard, I guess. It's hard, but she's amazing. Her name is Juliet. So she gets up at 5 every day. So that's my alarm clock every morning. So I usually just get up at 5, spend 1.5 hours with her and play and give a bit of food, and then I usually try to leave home by 7. And a couple of times a week I do get home around 5:30, 6. But yeah, it's not easy just getting home and she's sleeping. So I have an amazing partner as well that understands what I do, and No, it's pretty, yeah, but yeah, it definitely changed you as a person, and I think as a as a manager, as a leader, I think I'm a bit softer these days. Everyone tells me, they say, yeah, maybe it's because maybe because I'm a father now. So, but yeah, definitely, but it's incredible.
You've been involved in quite a few openings now, but did 24 York feel a bit different given how different the offering is? What was it like sort of in the lead up to that and getting that out and open?
Yeah, look, I think no opening is an easy one. Opening a restaurant from a cafe to Rockpool to the collective, which is 4 different sort of rooms. You have the dining room, we have the garden, we have a tailor room. To 24 York, which is one venue and one menu and 2 options. The a dessert and a steak frites. But I don't think it's any easier. You still have to deal with contractors, menu planning, training. So we do have a standard that we follow in Hunter's Hospitality when it comes to opening a venue. So we treat any opening or any venue the same way. So we follow the steps, very, very, we stick to them really well just to make sure, we don't miss anything from rubbish removals to fire alarms to menu printing. So I think still it's equally as hard to do a massive event collective than 24 York.
Hunter Street Hospitality have made a lot of movements in the last couple of years, closing some venues and opening new venues. And what's the next sort of year or two look like from your perspective with your role?
Look, obviously we're in a growing mode at the moment. We are converting a lot of venues that we had. So obviously 24 York is super barbarian, which is still a big part of our business. But we just felt that, there was a chance to use that amazing building and to put a different concept. So I think we're probably going to see a couple more of these, changes happening. So, we have amazing venues that are not called Rockpool, that are not called the Cat, but we could, use them to do a new concept. So we have a few different things on the go for the next year. So hopefully, 2 or 3 more venues will pop up by, in a year time, I guess.
Well, you're leading the charge with some incredible venues across the country. What do you love about what you do?
I love food for sure. I love beef. I love the wood fire but also dealing with, I guess all the employees, it's lots of different cultures, lots of different personalities. So it makes you, it makes you, try harder just to, keep growing the business, keep growing the company, and just make sure the employees are in there for the day of business. Yeah.
Well, Santi, it's an absolute honour to have you on Deep in the Weeds today to hear a bit of your story. Can't wait to see how 24 York goes. It sounds like it's firing already.
We're waiting for you. Please let me know when I come,
Well, please keep in touch.
We'll get the best steak.
We'll have to catch up again soon. Thanks, Santi.
Awesome. Thank you.
This is the Deep in the Weeds podcast. I'm Anthony Huckstep. Stay tuned as we take a deep dive into the lives of the incredible people who ply their trade in the food and hospitality sector. Special thanks to executive producer Rob Locke for making this all happen. Follow us on Instagram at Deep in the Weeds Podcast or email us at podcast@deepintheweeds.com.au. Thanks to executive producer Rob Locke for making this all happen. Stay safe and be well.